Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be going over a home workout for people that don't have equipment or if you're just a beginner. So our home workout's going to be pretty quick. It's going to be about 5 minutes for one full completion. And then we're going to double that to get you a good 10-minute full body workout. I feel like this is going to be really good for people that don't have a lot of equipment at the house, or if you're just relatively new to working out and fitness in general. Me and Tomlin are going to demonstrate the exercises that we're going to go over today and give a description as to what they hit and why you should be utilizing them at your home and during your workout. When me and Tomlin were younger, we didn't have a lot of equipment. We didn't have access to a gym. And what we would do is we would do home exercises, watch a lot of YouTube videos like the one you're watching right now. And we'd usually utilize a home workout plan with almost no equipment. I didn't use a lot of equipment. What about you? You use any?
I didn't use much of it.
When we first started out, it was mostly, just hitting those push-ups, right before you got in bed, or sit-ups. Yeah, it was just body weight. And so that's what we're going to really utilize today. For the first exercise, Tom's going to be demonstrating the wide push-ups. Notice his hand placement being relatively wide compared to his body. So this is really going to target his chest. And I want you guys to go until almost failure when you have like 5 more reps left in the tank. I don't want you to get too burned out with the first circuit. So now that Tom was done with his wide push-ups, he's going to move into his close push-ups. So go ahead.
You're going to see where your pecs are. You don't want to go too wide if you'll be doing wide grip again. Gonna be right on the outside of your pecs.
Making sure your elbows are tucked. So that's really gonna keep you a close grip, making sure your elbows are close to your body and pretty tucked in, not flared out like it would be in a wide, so go ahead and go. So he's gonna go until almost failure on this one as well.
No butt up in the air, no hanging low, you're straight.
And if you find that push-ups are really difficult for you, you can always drop your knees to the ground and then also hit the same movement. And that's going to be a little bit easier, especially if you are a beginner and if you do struggle with normal push-ups, which are demonstrated by Tomlin right now. Notice how his elbows are tucked in to his body and not flared out. So after doing his wide grip and close grip push-ups, he's going to move into his sit-ups. And he's going to go to almost failure on this one again. Notice how he's keeping a good sit-up posture. If you want to be more advanced with it, which Tomlin's now going to demonstrate, he's going to keep his legs straight. So this is going to provide less leverage for you when you're hitting sit-ups, and you're going to wind up keeping your hands close to your chest, not letting them throw out in front of you, and keep your...
that shit. Oh shit.
Damn, son, you can't do them.
I know, I can't fucking do sit-ups, bro.
Alright, so Tom can't do them that well. So for a more novice and beginner, this is going to be your stance for sit-ups. You're going to keep your feet close together, keep your knees bent, you're going to lay back. I usually like doing the mummy stance, or you can just keep your hands close to your chin, boxing stance, whichever one you want to do. And you're going to come up trying to keep as tight as possible, really feeling in your core. Now if you are advanced or this becomes easy to you, I recommend straightening your legs out, keeping a flat profile on your lower half, which is going to make it a lot harder and give you less leverage. So now I'm going to come up again. It's way harder now. I feel it way more in my core. Really minimizing the rocking. You want to kill the momentum and really get a good solid rep in. Go ahead and show us a proper lunge, Tomlin. Notice how he's taking one step forward, dropping his rear knee almost to the ground. So you're going to be doing these to failure as well. You want to make sure your toes are coming out, your foot's being placed straight. So after your lunges are completed, you're going to go into your squats. So you're going to be doing air squats. You can do a closer stance, which is about shoulder width apart, or you can go a little bit wider, whichever one you prefer. I like going a little bit shoulder width apart. I'm going to keep my toes angled outwards a little bit. If you want to look up our squat tutorial, it is with the bar, but the same mechanics apply for air squats. This will transfer over when you get a gym membership, when you start using the barbell, having good squat stance, having good squat form is gonna transfer over. So my toes are angled outward a little bit, flared out. I'm gonna squat like I'm trying to sit in a chair. So as you can see, my knees start to bend, my butt's going back. I'm keeping my chest right in line with my knees, everything's straight right here. I come down, I hit parallel. I'm coming right back up. And so this is what I'm gonna be doing over and over until it feels like I can only get 5 more, and then I'm gonna stop. Because our second round of the circuit is gonna be when we actually do push ourselves to complete failure, where you just can't get the full rep. And so if it was my second circuit, I would get down and I'd barely be able to come up, or I get right here and I drop on the floor. All right, so Tom was demonstrating the flutter kicks. And right now, as you guys can see, his hands are underneath his butt. That's gonna provide a little bit more of an angle, give him some support in his lower back, and make it easier to hit these flutter kicks.
Also, keep your shoulders off the ground.
So, if you wanna make it harder, Tom will go and demonstrate how to make it harder. He's gonna remove that support from his hands, put them out by his side, bring his shoulders off the ground, really engaging that core.
And you can see I'm already starting to shake.
And what you want to make sure is you're keeping your legs as straight as possible in these flutter kicks. And you can also angle your toes outward, pointed away from you. And that will really make it a little bit more harder. You should be able to feel it a lot more if you angle those toes out, keep your legs straight, and keep your hands away from your butt. All right, so now that we've hit our flutter kicks, that completes our circuit. However, if you have a tree outside, if you have a bar or a pipe that you can grab onto that can simulate a pull-up bar, or if you have a pull-up bar that you can put in your door, this is gonna be for you. I know we said no equipment, I understand. However, the gains that you can get from having one pull-up bar or a tree outside that you can utilize, or a pipe underneath your building, your apartment building, that you can grab a hold of and actually do pull-ups on and chin-ups on, is gonna increase the potential for your gains at home tremendously. So I have to mention it. Another thing that we're also gonna mention are dips. It's really hard to do dips at a dip bar. I understand that. However, there are hybrid ways to hit those dips and get the benefits that can come from hitting those dips on your triceps and on your lower chest. So if I'm more advanced and I do have access to equipment, I do have dumbbells, I can do lunges that are weighted, that are a lot harder. If I just had one dumbbell or one kettlebell, I could hold on to it. I could get in my squat stance, keep it center mass, and squat. And this is really gonna increase the resistance and give you more than what your body weight can provide. So this will result in having to do less reps and making your workout more intense. If you don't have access to dumbbells or any kettlebells, I recommend water jugs, milk jugs, whatever you may have lying around the house that has some weight. You can hold on to that, and that's gonna add more weight and more resistance. It doesn't have to be gym equipment. It can be anything you have that has weight. So with me, I got these 2 chairs right here. So this is one way of doing dips. You're gonna bring them in pretty close, don't wanna be too wide. The wider they are, the more chance of you failing and winding up. If you put too much weight on one of these, it'll come off. So when you're doing dips with chairs, you gotta be very, very careful. The lower to the ground, the better. The higher up, the higher the probability of you tipping it will be. So I got these cheap folding chairs right here. I weigh 200 pounds. If you weigh more than me and you're a beginner, you need to be careful with these because it's easier for you to flip on. So what I'm gonna do, before I take my feet off the ground, I'm gonna hold myself up and kind of hover, make sure I feel comfortable. After that, I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna get parallel with my elbows. I'll come back up. If I wanna hit my chest more, I'm gonna lean forward more, go down, up. This is the easiest way you can simulate dips. If you can't have a dip bar, you don't have any way to hit dips properly, get you a couple cheap folding chairs if you can find them. They're gonna be a lifesaver when it comes to hitting your lower chest and your tricep. The only other movement that hit our triceps today was those close push-ups we did earlier. That's the only thing we've done for our triceps. Your triceps make up the majority of the size of your arm, so it's crucial you don't neglect them. We have our bar here. As you guys saw earlier, Tomlin demonstrated outside on a tree. You don't have to have a perfect bar, but for demonstration purposes, I want to show you. So for chin-ups, it's going to involve you caking your hands and gripping the bar like this. Pull-ups is going to be the other way. Your palms will be facing away from you. So when I do chin-ups, my palms are facing towards me, and this is going to activate my biceps. And you guys can look up. Any gymnast you see will have huge arms. That's because they're on the bar, they're pulling themselves up, they're only using body weight, and their arms are huge. You're missing out on a lot of the bicep gains if you do not do the chin-ups. The pull-ups is really gonna help utilize your back and then your lats. The easier they get, you wanna make sure you're pulling up and then squeezing that rep in, making sure you're getting a solid rep. You also don't want to be swinging your lower body and really trying to throw yourself up there when you're a beginner and it does not feel comfortable for you and you don't have the strength to really just get up there. You're probably going to look like this. And that's okay. So what I recommend you doing, if you don't have the strength to hit a pull-up yet or a chin-up, is to hang as long as you can, and also while you're hanging, try your best to pull up, because those muscles are still going to be activated whether you're getting up to the top of the bar or not. And so what this is doing is it's really contracting his back up here in his upper back and his lats, especially when he's getting up to the top of that bar. Finish it off, we're gonna hit some abs again with the bar. So what Tom is gonna do is he's gonna get up there and he's gonna hit knee to chest, which is basically hanging, bringing your knee to your chest. Then he's gonna hit toe to bar. Toe to bars are significantly harder than knee to chest. However, toe to bar is gonna really work those lower abs, which are really hard to see, especially if your body mass is a little bit higher. With the knee to chest, you're gonna be really building up the whole core. So I recommend, if you want, hit both of them. Hit your knee to chest, hit your toe to bar. But if you want to get something that's harder and hit those lower abs, you need to be hitting those toe to bar. So he's gonna hang, he's gonna demonstrate knee to chest. So it's exactly what it is. It's knee, bringing it straight up to your chest, really gonna hit that core. Now demonstrate toe to bar. You're gonna really try not to swing on this as much as you can. Notice how he's keeping control. Bring his toe all the way to the bar. The straighter your legs, the more you'll feel it in your lower core, and it's really hard to keep your legs straight on those toe to bar. Notice how my toes don't get all the way up to the bar. I do have a little bit of a gut on me. Also, when I'm keeping my legs straight, it makes it significantly harder. I do feel it more in my lower core with my legs being straight, but it's hard for me to get that full range of motion. When you bend your knees, it's easier to get those toes to the bar. So it's up to you. You can keep your knees bent, but the straighter your legs are, the harder it is for you. All right, to recap, we started off with our wide grip push-ups, which are really gonna hit your chest. Then we're gonna move into our close grip push-ups, which is gonna really hit those triceps and work the arms a little more than the chest. After our close grip push-ups, we're gonna be hitting our sit-ups, working those abs. After our sit-ups, we're gonna be going into our lunges and our air squats, really working our lower body, hitting those legs. The lunges are really gonna help build up those hamstrings and those quads. Air squats are gonna hit the majority of the leg. After air squats, we're gonna be hitting our flutter kicks. That's gonna be hitting the lower abdominal region as well. We're gonna move into our dips. We're gonna be using dips with whatever we can. I recommend the chairs. It's gonna be the full range of motion. Just be really careful on that. But the triceps is what makes up the majority size of your arm, so you can't neglect it. After you hit your dips, you're gonna be finding a bar, finding a tree, whatever you can. You're gonna be hitting your chin-ups, you're gonna be hitting your pull-ups, and then you're gonna be hitting a little bit more abs. You're gonna be hitting your toe to bars and your knee to chest. I recommend doing both, but if you only want to do one, I recommend toe to bar to really build up that lower core. Sit-ups is gonna hit the majority of your core. You're gonna run this circuit twice. So it could put you a little bit over 10 minutes. It could put you at 30 minutes, depending on your level. But if you are hitting it with everything you have, you wanna be hitting the ground quick. You're gonna be doing these moves as quick as possible, keeping as good form as possible without outrunning your form. You don't wanna be going so quick that your form suffers, okay? After you hit this circuit once, you're gonna go to complete failure. So the first time you go through the circuit, you're gonna have about 5 more reps in the tank. You don't wanna go to complete failure the first circuit. When you hit it for the second time, you're gonna be going to complete failure. So if I did 10 wide grip push-ups originally, I felt like I had 5 more in the tank, I come through, I need to be trying to go for 15. If I can't, if I fail at 12, that's completely fine. You wanna go to a failure where you can't even finish out the full rep. After you finish your workout, I recommend you definitely get some protein in you. You need to make sure you're having good nutrition and good sleep. Make sure you get that good recovery. I wish you all the best in your fitness journey, and I'll see you in the next one.